Hey y'all, and thank you so much for tuning into Respectfully with Miss Pretty Young Thing. I'm your girl PYT, and let's get into it. Y'all, I know I'm behind on recaps, but we're gonna go ahead and do what we do, okay? Joseline's Cabaret, Texas, episode 7 and 8. Okay, we're gonna quickly recap it. I'm gonna beat my face, and of course, this is in my bathroom. I am out of town, y'all, so if you caught my last couple videos, you know that I am in Jersey. This time around, I am in Atlantic City. I'm in Atlantic City for the first time. Just here for a quick work errand, work trip, whatever you want to call it. And then I will be home next week. I'm so happy I will be going home soon. Okay, so this recap and next week recap is going to be in at Atlantic City, and then we will be back in Atlanta before I set sail and head to Puerto Rico. Okay, so vlogs coming soon, but in the meantime, please do me a favor, like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe, send your turn your post notifications on, etc, etc, etc. Okay, so y'all, like I said, we're going out tonight. Outfit provided by Forever 21, and yeah, we're gonna beat my face. So I have a couple new products that I'm using. Of course, my hair is done, so we got to curl that curling wand already here. And let's talk Joseline's Cabaret, Texas. Toner by Fresh. You already know the vibes. Big shout out to Sephora for hooking me up with a bunch of free things for my birthday. Oh yes, y'all, shout out to everyone that wished me a happy birthday. Birthday vlog will be posted soon, okay? All right, so that being said, Joseline's Cabaret has been interesting for the past couple weeks. We've had people leaving, we've had a bunch of fights, we've had so much, and episode 7 and 8 have both been good. Listen, Joseline's Cabaret has not been disappointing, okay? It has the dialogue, it has the suspenseful moments, it has the fights, it has the challenges, it has every component that you need to have a successful reality TV show, and I am so here for it. Okay, big shout out to Joseline for doing her big one. Okay, so that being said, so the last episode, I want to say the last episode ended with not the challenges, but the fight that was occurring outside, if I'm not mistaken. And y'all, I'm gonna summarize this as best as I possibly can, because baby, this is 2 weeks worth of videos that we had to watch. Okay, so basically outside the bus, I want to say it was Hennessy and the other one, the one that's from Baltimore, her accent thick as hell. And basically they were going head to head. And honestly, let me know in the comments who you think won that fight between them, because it was giving bloody, it was giving damn, it was a lot of what's the words that you can use, a lot of wigs off. It was just a lot going on. So I want to say it was Hennessy and what's the other girl's name? As soon as I remember her name, then we can go on with what I'm talking about. What's her name? Not Fetish, not Chinks, not Des. Showgirl Neek. So Neat, and Hennessy were fighting each other, or whatever the case may be. So that was just a big mess. Why was it a big mess? Because it was just like, y'all really have no beef with each other. Like, I hate it when circumstances like this happen, when girls are beefing and they really don't have a real beef with one another. They're literally just tearing each other apart based on, you know, how another person is looking at the other person, or whatever the case may be. And it's just like, calm down. Like, not that deep. But let me know in the comments who you think won. Joseline ended up coming up to the girls, letting them know, like, y'all need to get it together, or else y'all can't come inside. Like, we're at these people's establishment, and y'all, we're at these Caucasian establishments, and y'all acting real niggardly. Okay, so you need to calm down. Okay, you need to set all that aside and do your big one by way of DAMELO, and that's it. Okay, So that being said, they ended up calming down. Showgirl Neat comes inside, but not Hennessy. So Joseline, of course, feels some type of way about that, because it's one of those things where it's just like, all the girls do it all the time. They squabble and then go. Baddies Caribbean does it all the time. They'll squabble and then head straight to the club, because at the end of the day, it's all about the money. You know, it's easy for me to say from my couch, I can't, you know, party with girls right after squabbling, but then at the same token, I don't get paid to be in the club. So, of course, a person like me can say that because I can't relate. You know, you need to go to show practice, then bring your butt to show practice. Why you sitting around, you know, not doing what you're supposed to do? Like, you're on TV. Do you know Zeus is going to air this and Joseline's going to see how disrespectful you're being? You doing it to her face and behind her back. Like, that's not cute. So basically, from there, we go inside the area where they're practicing the DAMELO video, or whatever the case may be. Everyone's doing good, whatever, exuding their sexy. Ricardo's helping them get through the choreography. Y'all, let me know in the comments who y'all think is doing the best in the choreography. I can't ask who y'all think made the video, because the video is already out, and we're talking about episode 7 and 8, so y'all are going to see who's in the video. But altruistically, oh, before I forget, it was at this practice that Miss Joseline Hernandez announces that Kay is not coming back. Who is Kay? Kay is Jigsaw. Y'all, Jigsaw is not coming back, and I was kind of saddened by this, but it was one of those things where she literally, it was doctor's orders. Like, her doctor basically said her face was too effed up to continue her journey on Joseline's Cabaret. Like, the way they kept lumping up that girl, like Joseline literally on the set called her Martin, you know, and for Joseline to know that episode is still a key to me. I be forgetting that she's, you know, Americanized by way of every way except her accent. But honestly, I felt bad, because it was one of those things where, like, Kay definitely brought, you know, sorry, I leaned on the light. Kay definitely brought some good energy to the show. She definitely gave this show, you know, a lot of good content, especially with her, you know, going through the house on the bicycle after they call her Jigsaw. Everybody was beefing with her, so there was she brought a lot of fight scenes, and respectfully, she was not a bad dancer. Like, she definitely had a lot to offer by way of winning the $50,000 anyway. So it's one of those things where they literally just did not want her in the house for the sake of not wanting her to be in the house, and not that she necessarily, you know, wasn't able to compete for the $50,000. Like, some of them girls that was complaining about her, she probably danced better than them. So it was real, I don't know. So then from there, they end up heading back to the next episode, in which all of the girls are sitting down, and they're basically discussing how practice went and how they feel about everything. And then they end up asking Hennessy's friend, the name was Champagne, Rose. They end up asking Rose how she feels about her friendship with Hennessy, and how she feels about how everything played out. Now, it's crazy, because I respected how Hennessy spoke on her friend on the bus more than I liked how Rose spoke on her friend in this room, because it's one of those things where, like, she didn't disrespect her. So for you to be sitting here saying to these girls that you just met that you looking at your friend sideways, the friend that you came here for, even if you weren't looking at her sideways, why are you letting them know that? You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where it's just like, that's that ish I don't like. Like, remember how we talking about how Zeus friendships end at the door? Like, it really does, because there's absolutely no reason for her to be turning against her friend here. But like always, that's just the result. Okay, so they end up having the conversations or whatever, and of course Hennessy has to redeem herself in front of the Puerto Rican princess. So Joseline brings her to the house or whatever, and basically tells her, like, look, you can't be missing practice. You need to get your head in the game. You need to learn how to squabble and go back to, you know, business at hand. You can, if you can't handle it, then can't take the heat and get out the kitchen, basically, is what's happening in this circumstance. Which you can't blame her, because at the end of the day, you're gonna let these heifers get in the way of you at $50,000 when you keep telling people how you know how to dance, you're beautiful, like, you one of the prettiest girls in the house. Like, they are hating on you, and rightfully so. So it's one of those things where I feel like she should have done a better job of, you know, containing her energy and just focusing on the prize. Oh, it was in this area that she ended up telling them that Kay was not in the episode, but that's neither here nor there. So either way, that's what she ends up telling Hennessy, because, you know, it's seeming like Hennessy not gonna get her stuff together. So Joseline tells them that she had another surprise for them. That she needs them to dress up sexy, and they are going to dance for her and Ballistic. And the winners, whoever dances the best, are going to end up in the DAMELO video. So get your cowgirl outfits and put on a show for her and Ballistic. And also, what else she said? Also, she said, yeah, that's it. So they ended up putting their roach stompers on, getting on the bus, and getting ready to entertain Joseline and company. Okay. So that being said, listen, when I say the bus rides be bootylicious, supercalifragilistic, expialidocious, talk to me nice. Okay. Y'all, well, I forgot to put moisturizer and primer. So respectfully, I'm about to blend this in with the concealer. And we about to be real ghetto fabulous. Okay. So yes, like, they ended up getting there. Joseline got there first, titties out. Y'all, it ain't my marriage, but respectfully, Ballistic is a strong individual to let his wife out the house. Like, okay, so I will always believe that marriage is definitely different than, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend. But courtship is the step forward. And then, of course, you know, how you carry yourself is a whole different situation as far as, you know, your single season or whatever the case may be. But I still feel how I feel when I say that Ballistic is a strong human being, because there's not a lot of men in America that are able to have a bad bee like Joseline by his side and still, you know, be okay with, you know, how sexy and flirtatious that she be dressing, because she be with titties here and there and everywhere. Like, and you see the type of show Joseline Cabaret is. Like, they're not censoring for nobody. Censorship on 0. Okay, titties on 1,000. So, like, I know what Joseline's whole body look like. Only thing I don't know what it look like is the inside of the coochie, because this show has, season 1 showed us the outside, basically, when she was sleeping with him, not sleeping with him, but basically humping him in the hot tub. Y'all remember that episode? So basically, the girls ended up meeting them there, and prior to them getting there, what's her name? Big Titty Diamond is what Joseline calls her. Big Titty Diamond asked that dumb question by the time she told him to get sexy. She was just like, what else is there? There has to be a trick, whatever the case may be. So Joseline makes her go first in the sexy competition. Idiot. So she ends up going first or whatever. And she had this cute cowgirl outfit on or whatever the case may be. And ends up doing her thing. Her thing definitely involved a lot of titty. It definitely involved a lot of titty. Out of everybody that danced, I feel like some of my favorites were Sugar Nick. Lexi Blow definitely got her booty be bootying. You can tell who's Joseline's favorites are And then one light-skinned girl, what's her name? I can't remember at the top of my head. I'll put a picture up, but I feel like that is definitely one of Joseline's favorites because baby girl, every time she comes in front of the screen, but let's see what you think. You can see her pretty pussy from right here and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, girl, homegirl better tread lightly because the last person that that was looking at her, that she was looking at like that, she ain't on the show anymore. And child, hey Lexi Blow. Matter of fact, I think her name Lexi. Child, here go a whole nother Lexi. Child. Let me know what y'all think about that. So basically, all of the girls end up going. They ended up all doing a good job. Their outfits, some of their outfits were subpar. Some of them were definitely giving mad rag, like they just bought them on a clearance rack somewhere, thrift story, like nothing crazy. Like she said, dress sexy, and this is what you came up with type of energy. Like, I wasn't really a fan of some of the looks, but be that as it may, you know, they did what they could with what they have. I remember liking Raven. Like some of the girls, let me know in the comments who your favorite girls were. But off the top of my head, I remember liking Showgirl Neek. I remember liking Raven. I remember liking the girl with the thick accent. She's a cute, very cute body, and you could tell Joseline was digging her too. And yeah, so the rest of the episode was basically them dancing, showing off their moves, or whatever the case may be. Lexi Blow did an excellent job, but I love her body, so maybe I'm a little biased as far as that goes. So the episode kind of sort of cuts off there, and the next episode is basically stay tuned because we're going to show you who ends up winning. So that episode was a good episode because at the end of the day, we need the content going, we need everything flowing. Unfortunately, we had to save out a Jigsaw, but you know, health first, respectfully. Health first. I'm glad she knows the difference between, you know, good content and, you know, reaching her limits, because some people be forgetting that limits should exist. And I'm glad that she got her face checked out because baby was looking rough. Baby was looking rough. Baby was looking rough. Okay. But she ended up getting herself together. Hopefully we get to see Kay on another season. Hopefully she makes a comeback or whatever the case may be, because she definitely was good TV. She was definitely entertaining. She didn't do her biggest one because she lost every fight that she was on, but she is content that we definitely liked to see. She was not an ugly girl. She was a pretty face for the cabaret. I just wanted to see more of her dancing, really, because it was one of those things where, like, because of everything else that was going on, we didn't get to see a lot of her dancing with fight after fight after fight after fight. Her having to constantly defend herself at practices and at link-ups and things of that nature. Like, she always had to get pulled to the side to handle her face with medics and things of that nature. So it was one of those things where, like, we never really got to see her at her fullest potential. Let me know in the comments whether or not you feel like Kay, aka Jigsaw, is somebody that you would like to see come back. I feel like so. I definitely feel like so. Also, actually, all of the girls that have left thus far, I feel like are good. That dark-skinned girl that left towards the beginning, that one that I actually like, she needs to come back. Let me get some names. Fetish was the dark-skinned girl I need to come back, and Chinks was my fave. I was definitely looking forward to seeing her But Chinks definitely I'm glad she knows her worth. I'm glad that she valued herself over everything that was going on. And I'm glad that she chose, you know, herself over, you know, a bag, because some people don't do that. Some people genuinely don't do that. Now, I did argue that I wish she would have, like, realized that prior to, you know, auditioning, because what the hell did your audition take look like? But at the end of the day, some people have a come to Jesus moment at any given time. Okay, so now, next episode, episode 8 starts off with Joseline making her picks. So she chooses Raven, she chooses Lexi Gold. She chooses, what does she choose? She chooses Voodoo. She chooses Voodoo's bestie, which Voodoo's bestie she calls last. Crazy, because she accidentally called Voodoo by her name. She ends up choosing her B-Day twin, the one with the hair, Isis. She ends up choosing the other Lexi, I think her name is, the light-skinned girl, Erica. I keep trying to call her Lexi, but her name is Erica. She chose the other Erica. Okay. And I want to say that was it, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know if I'm missing someone. But I'm pretty sure that was it. So yeah, all of the girls got extremely excited. They were really happy, as they should be, because I'm loving the fact that they're getting, you know, their prizes and getting their flowers by way of the Puerto Rican princess. You know, like, instead of them just like getting eliminated all the way to the $50,000, there's like prizes in between and everything like that. Like, big shout out to Joseline, because the cabaret is cabareting. Okay, the cabaret is definitely cabareting. So I was here for it. This hair in my face. But yeah, I was here for the girls that were, listen, Joseline this season is a girl's girl. I mean, the girls are still getting cussed out every now and again, but she's definitely more zen. A lot of people are saying because it's because she's on probation. Be that as it may, probation is definitely having me love her. Okay, because these girls are definitely like here for Joseline, and you could tell the cabaret is becoming a little more tight. Even by the time the new girls came and they were like all fighting or whatever the case may be, like, you could tell that the cabaret this time around are going to be like, it's going to consist of girls that are going to be here for the long haul, if you get what I'm saying. So big shout out to Joseline for making great selections in this circumstance. Okay. Oh, Sure Girl Neek. So Girl Neek is another one that got chosen, if I'm not mistaken. So that being said, all of them got chosen so that they could be in the DAMELO video, which I believe maybe next episode we're gonna get to see them shoot the DAMELO music video. So I'm super excited to seeing them do their biggest one. If you haven't seen the DAMELO video, it is the intro. Actually, it is the intro to Joseline's Cabaret, Texas. So if you kind of sort of just slow that down or go on YouTube, and check to see what is going on. I might actually just put the link right here so that y'all can go check it out. I actually have not taken the time to watch the full DAMELO video. All I've seen is the preview that I lied. I have seen the full one before Joseline's Cabaret Texas came out. But, you know, in watching that back then, I didn't know any of these girls. No, you know, like we mentioned before, Joseline's Cabaret, they don't be having leaks the way baddies do. So we had no idea who ISIS was or anything of that nature. So it was one of those things where we had to kind of sort of just wait and see who these girls were and what was going on as far as any, you know, up and coming information. So big shout out to the girls nonetheless for making the cabaret, okay? Joseline's cabaret. Well, not making the cabaret, but making the music video. Because we're not going to see who made the cabaret until the end of the season. And the winner of the $250,000. Okay? Okay. So, yes, y'all. So, that happens. And big shout out to all of the girls that won. And you could tell that the girls that didn't were, you know, a little salty or whatever the case may be. And as they should be. But that salt should definitely be motivated into, you know, y'all kind of sort of working harder to learn all this choreography, because that DAMELO dance is easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could have been in the music video. So I don't understand why they couldn't fix themselves to all be in the music video. Like, they should have all known it so well that Joseline would have been like, everybody's gonna be in the video. You in the video. You in the video. Everybody in the video. Big Oprah stance. Okay, but they didn't do their big one. Okay, so hopefully next time they get it together. So either or, they end up going back to the house or whatever the case may be. But prior to going back to the house, what's her name? The white girl, the one that talked too much. She was basically in her feelings. Basically, her big head ass was extremely annoyed that Joseline did not pick her or whatever the case may be. But like I said before, I feel like, you know, moments like those shouldn't break you. It should definitely be a lesson learned, and definitely should fuel your focus and make you more hungry and make you grind harder. Like, get your ass in the dance room and DAMELO. Like, what? You should be able to eat, sleep, and breathe DAMELO. Like, there's no reason for these girls to be struggling at this little funky two-step. No reason whatsoever. So, either or, let me know in the comments how you feel about the selection that Joseline chose as far as DAMELO goes. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the beefs that started after the selection of DAMELO, because I feel like these girls, the back and forth is kind of getting old between them, but it definitely looks like it's going to continue to develop into some craziness from what it looks like. But the girls on the bus basically were just saying, we the new girls, we the showstoppers, we dancers, or whatever the case may be. We been due to this, we not true to this. I mean, what's it called? We new to this, but not true to this. New to the cabaret, but not true to dancing, basically. And Dani and Voodoo, of course, Dani and her bestie felt a type of way. So now they're going back and forth on the bus. One thing about the bus rides, it's never going to be peaceful. It's never going to be demure. It's never going to be cutesy. So they going back and forth on the bus ride. And I just feel like I understood what the girls were saying as far as, like, dance is who we are, and them sensing like maybe a piece of favoritism because of the fact that Joseline maybe felt like she owed her OGs something. But let me know in the comments how you feel about that. I can understand where they're coming from. But then them being a part of the dance world, like I said before, like that should feed their focus. That should fuel, you know, their energy tank to be able to know, like, okay, so if this is how it's going to be, I got to make sure that I'm on top of Joseline's radar every single time, because it's not like she only chose OGs. If that was the case, she would have chose Big Titty Diamond. Big Titty Diamond was not chosen, so it's not like she was just on the hunt for OGs or whatever the case may be. She chose a bitch like Isis. She chose, you know, Showgirl Neek. She chose girls outside. Oh, no, she didn't choose Showgirl Neek. Showgirl Neek won the last contest. Scratch what I just said. But she did choose, you know, she did choose some other girls outside of, you know, the ones that we know from last season or whatever the case may be. But let me know in the comments if you know what I mean. Because I feel like it's one of those things where Dani and Voodoo are not necessarily her strongest dancers, but her loyal ones. One of the girls ended up mentioning that, which I get it. I get it. Because one thing that Joseline values is definitely loyalty. And I get that, because my life's principles are loyalty, consistency, and respect. If you know, you know. So it's one of those things where I can understand Joseline for making sure that she rewards those that ride for her. But then at the same token, if that's the case, she should have added, you know, spots. I mean, I don't know how big the DAMELO set was, and I can't necessarily say that she had to add more people or whatever the case may be. I guess it just depends on, you know, the look of the video and things of that nature. Like I said, I really don't remember the chunks of the video. I just remember from what we see from the theme song, to be quite honest. So let me know in the comments how you feel about how they felt about the situation, because I feel like I can understand the new girls for feeling like, okay, well, y'all are OGs, so y'all are getting y'all moment, y'all are getting y'all time to shine. But we up next. That's how I took what they were saying. And I feel like the OGs were kind of sort of not respecting what they were saying. I feel like Dani and Voodoo were just rapping just to rap. But let me know in the comments if you took another, like, if you understood it another way. If y'all understood it another way, then so be it. But I'm playing devil's advocate, and respectfully, as the advocate for the devil, I just feel like they didn't mean it in the way that Dani Fantastic and her trusty sidekick, I don't think they meant it in the way that they took it. Like, I genuinely don't. I feel like they were taking it as, oh, you saying y'all the OGs and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, no, that's not what we're saying. We're saying we not new to this. We true to this. We've been dancers. There's going to be plenty of music videos. There's going to be plenty of opportunities for Joseline to recognize us. It's going to be, you know, another moment for us to be able to fight for a spot. Like, we ain't new to this. We true to this. We finna catch you on this on a flippity flip, in my Michael Scott voice. So, do I feel like they should have been tussling towards the end of this episode? No. Do I feel like Ocean, that's white girl name, Ocean, I should have been looking like that? Child. We'll get there. We'll get to that. We will get to that. Y'all, I'm trying to lay this one side of my edges, and oh, never mind, it laid. It laid. Okay. I need to hold this with a pen while I figure out the rest of my goddamn head. Okay. So yeah, so that being said, I don't know. They were bothered. But I feel like them being bothered, they shouldn't have been bothered because it wasn't shade. It wasn't shade. I didn't see it as shade. I'm not saying that, you know, they shouldn't have saw it as shade, or, well, actually I am saying that they shouldn't have saw it as shade because it wasn't shade. They weren't trying to be shady. They basically was just hyping each other up like, y'all, we got this the next time around, you know. And that's just, it is what it is. Like, that's just what it is. So let me know in the comments how you feel about that. Let me know your interpretation of what was happening in that circumstance, because, child, it was just a whole bunch of fights just partaking in the midst, and it was just like, it was, yeah, like it was fight after fight after fight after fight after fight. Y'all, I'm really trying to lay this last piece of edges down, so we gonna hold it down. P.O.P. one more time. So yes, essentially the girls, by the time that scene happened and they made it back to the house, the girls that made it to the show were basically discussing, you know, how happy they are to be a part of it, or whatever the case may be. And the girls that didn't make it were basically like, dang, we need to step it up, blase, blase. And they ended up intermingling, or whatever the case may be, which, like always, it turns into, you know, some interesting conversations. So OG Dani is basically like, that one girl can get it anytime, or whatever the case may be. You know, they're basically just talking through their issues and whatnot. And yeah, it was just a lot of dialogue, but the dialogue ended up turning into scuffles. So these scuffles were interesting scuffles because one thing about OG Dani, she gonna fight somebody, and in the midst of her fighting somebody, Voodoo is going to jump in. And when Voodoo jumps in, it's gonna end up very, very tragic, because it's one of those things where it's just like, why can't you let your friend fight one-on-one? That's one. Because now you end up getting dragged by someone else because they don't respect you for trying to jump in a fight that ain't have nothing to do with you. So now Voodoo wig gets snatched. And it's like, there wasn't really a reason for your wig to get snatched, but you got your wig snatched because you over here doing too much. Now, just like they always say on baddies, ain't no rules to fighting. So be that as it may, let's stick to, you know, the saying on Zeus, that ain't no rules to fighting, right? Let's say in a magical world of Zeus, ain't no rules to fighting. So with that being said, that means if somebody feels some type of way about you jumping into a fight that ain't got nothing to do with you, they could jump you for jumping into the fight that ain't got nothing to do with you. So are they, was she wrong for chasing behind Voodoo Doll, snatching her up, for jumping in that fight between Dani and what's her name? Between Dani and Showgirl? No, not at all. So basically what the situation was is, by the time they were done, you know, kind of sort of discussing everything outside of the house or whatever the case may be, some behind the scenes ish happened, which led to all of the fights or whatever. So I guess it was a regular non-filming day, and they're practicing DAMELO, and it turns into a filming day because Joseline comes down with her hair tied, eating popcorn, and they're just fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. And basically the breakdown is Dani ain't had no wig, and what's her face was hollering, Jayla, the Russian dream. But now that turns into Showgirl Neek fighting Dani, because apparently the beef between Showgirl Neek and Dani is continuing from what was happening before. So basically what was happening before is what I was saying before with the bus. So on the bus, Showgirl Neek was basically the head cheerleader of the we the new OGs when it comes to dance. But they weren't talking about OGs of Cabaret. They were just talking about we OGs at dancing. So they took it the wrong way for no reason. They hollering, which turns into them fighting. Ugh, child, it was really ghetto. You see the scene from the preview of Joseline's Cabaret, Texas. Showgirl Neek. So first you see Dani without a wig. Then you see Showgirl Neek without a wig. But both of them without a wig. Child, round one was very even. Round one give MMA, WWE SmackDown. It was a lot of wrestling. It was a lot of leg wrapping. It was a lot of ghetto fabulous motion. Okay, it was the most intriguing girl fight I have ever seen in my 34 years of living. Child, that thing was on and popping. Like, they're both small and they're both nimble. In the words of Dani, they are both nimble. In the words of OG Dani Fantastic, she's nimble. She's quick. So, child, let me know in the comments who you think won, because the first fight I feel like was even. Round two, they end up getting at each other, okay. At this time, Showgirl Neek, you know, lost her wig because and Dani ended up wearing it on her head. Child, them in these wigs, because remember Raven did it before as well. But by the time they ended up fighting for the second time, Dani was losing. How you know Dani was losing? Voodoo jumped in. Who jumps into their friend's fight unless their friend is losing? Am I mad for her jumping in? No, because why? Her friend was losing. So, of course, she wants to make sure that she gets a proper lick in order to help her friend regain some sort of something so that she can go back to, you know, whooping some ass. Would Dani have won? Probably not. Because I feel like they were pretty evenly matched by size, by technique, by so many different ways. So it was giving, they were just going to have to tire each other out. It was giving, we was just going to have to fight it out until Joseline said, sit y'all asses down and shut the hell up. That's honestly what it was giving. It was giving, I ain't getting no sleep because of y'all. And y'all ain't getting no sleep because of me. It was giving, I could do this all night. Like, it really was one of those situations where they were probably going to run it over and over and over and over and over and over again without any resolve, had there not been like guardians there to be able to kind of sort of make sure it all played out and led to some sort of conclusion. But let me know in the comments how you felt about it, because like I said, I feel like that fight wasn't going nowhere, and I feel like I simultaneously feel like that fight was pointless. But of course, it was during round two that, like I said before, Voodoo ended up jumping in and, you know, all the chaos. But prior to that, Joseline simply asked, what is happening? And why did it take 11 people to tell her, you know, what was going on? Because I think, okay, so they basically had prior history, but what started the circumstance during practice was Showgirl Neek. So Showgirl Neek, basically, it seemed like she had said something disrespectful as far as Joseline goes. Now, what she said, the world may never know, because they never actually quoted what she said, but it looked like she was disrespectful towards the choreographer Ricardo. She was disrespecting him, and they felt disrespected that she was disrespecting him. Something about, you know, her not wanting to keep up with his account or whatever the case may be. Ciao. Y'all, Christian Dior lipstick. Got it for my birthday. And I don't know. Let's see what it's giving. Ooh. This thing's smooth. It was honestly weird because I couldn't thoroughly understand what was happening as far as their fight goes. It was a little all over the place as far as the contents of, you know, what she said, because it was hard to keep up with. Ricardo didn't want to say it out loud. I feel like it was one of those things where he didn't want to like rile Joseline up, because if anybody knows Joseline is Ricardo. And, you know, the other girls seemed like they didn't want to say it, but it was one of those things where it was just like, who's going to say it? Because it needs to be said. It needs to be said. So regardless of the factor, regardless of the factor, it's just, I feel like it should have been said. Like, why are we sitting here like hiding from Joseline as far as, you know, the contents of what this little girl got to say? Somebody say it with your chest. Like, it was, somebody say it out loud and proud. Shoot, I was hoping Showgirl Nick was going to say it. I said XYZ. Maybe it was wise for her not to say it, actually. Because the way Joseline Temper set up, we've already seen what she can do with the likes of not a meatball. With the likes of a, what's the name of the old house mom? I already forgot her name. We already seen what she can do with the likes of others. I've seen what you've done to others. Okay, so I feel like they should know better by now, but apparently not. But one thing I can definitely say is them OGs definitely stand for Joseline, and then them new girls were looking like they were just trying to oppose whatever the OGs had to say, because they did not confirm or deny what Showgirl Neek was. Whether or not what Showgirl Neek said was disrespectful or not. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I wish I had a behind the scenes person that could tell me what the hell this little girl said. Because it's like, if we didn't hear it, I wish Zeus had like cameras that were on standby like for the entire time, kind of like how Real World used to be, and not just like the staged cameras and the actions, so that we can kind of sort of get the real-time moments like these. Because without, like, we know her and Dani already didn't like each other, but now it's like full throttle battles happening, and we don't have the full dialogue that was said, and no one wants to repeat it. And that's a little irritating. That's a lot irritating, actually. So let me know in the comments how you felt about that. But basically how it plays out, they're trying to kind of sort of tell Joseline what the situation is. Showgirl Neek is trying to tell her side, and this one's trying to tell that side, and then other people are kind of sort of trying to add on to the circumstance. I believe Hennessy jumped in, because I remember, shoot, her wig being missing in the circumstance. It was just like a lot of moving pieces. A lot of moving pieces. So then from there, Joseline is just trying to like figure out what to do based on what the hell is going on. And Dani's basically like, I don't like her because she talked too much, or whatever the case may be. And be that as it may, I can understand that. I can understand somebody getting on your nerves so much that you want to pop them in the face because they talk too much. But can I know what she said? Please. Can I know what she said? So, hopefully we find out in the reunion what the hell Showgirl Neat said. Because Joseline, we were never able to get to the bottom of it. Essentially. But they ended up fighting again, or whatever the case may be. And the second time around, Showgirl Neat gets the best of the situation, which causes Andrea to jump in. Okay, y'all, here's the Forever 21 top. I'm gonna show y'all the whole video. I mean, the whole outfit in another video. Be on the lookout. So, essentially, I want to say it was Hennessy that ended up jumping in to help her, to help Showgirl Neat, because it's still one of those situations where it's just like, why are you jumping in a fight? Like, why are you trying to sneak? Why won't you let your friend fight her own battles? Which anybody can understand that. But at the same token, from Drea's perspective, from Voodoo Doll's perspective, anybody can understand her seeing her friend losing a battle and wanting to help her. But yeah, her friend was losing and she jumped in. Let me know in the comments whether or not you saw something wrong with that. Okay? So that being said, y'all, they go into the previews of next week, and respectfully, child, it's looking like the fighting is not going to end, but it's also looking like the challenges are going to continue, and it's looking like another juicy episode of Joseline Cabaret. Y'all, I'm pretty much done with my look, but I'm going to slap on some heels and basically continue on with there was no security blanket there. Continue on with what we have here. So I have some long Forever 21 pants with this cute top. The pants are sparkly. Heels as well. We're gonna style this up. But I appreciate y'all for getting ready for me. We're heading to Atlantic City. Vlog coming soon. And thank you so much for tuning into PYT TV. Respectfully.